Okay, welcome back to your Caribou Data Science channel. This is gonna be an abbreviated session. I'm only gonna be plotting the three countries with the top views plus the U.S. Okay, so let's start with the U.S. at the top in that case. Do things a little different. Let's point out to America that you had 5 views yesterday for a country of 326 million people. That number's like way too low. I can't. There has to be people out, dozens of people out there who are interested in the plain, simple COVID-19 number without the political hype, without the liberal media propaganda. There has to be more than 5 people out there interested in the plain, simple facts of COVID-19 cases and deaths. Okay. So anyway, of course, if you viewed the video today, I'd really appreciate if you would if you would that if you would click on the like button and the share button, okay, and the subscribe button. Let's just do something a little different. Let's just start out with the Ohio. Okay, let's just start with the U.S.'s COVID-19 vaccine report. Okay, so like I say, we're going to do we're going to do the U.S., we're going to Sweden, we're going to India, and we're going to Israel. Right? The four: U.S., Sweden, Israel, and India. Four. Okay. Give my poor body a little bit of rest. So anyway, you can see that the U.S. has administered 449, well, I was supposed to say 450 million doses. Of those doses, 230 million doses have been administered. First shot has been administered, and what is it? 195 million have received the full treatment. What this works out to is this works out to a 69.3%, 69% the U.S. population has received the first shot, and 58.4% have been fully vaccinated. Okay, so let's just come over here now. Let's just swing on over here to our daily numbers for the U.S. Okay, so since January 2020, the U.S. has had 47.7 million cases, and since the last week of February 2020, they've had 771,000 plus COVID-19 deaths. We are currently averaging 71,000. How could we do this? We would simply create a table that only contains the numbers for the U.S. since January 1st. So that's a question. If you're going to try to project it out, should you use should the average be based on all the numbers, or maybe you want to say the last 6 months or something like that? Now let's just come over and try to tinker around a little bit of something here. So here's our environment. We got DF. This is just temporary here. We're going to say DF colon comma greater than or equal to good. We could do an average for various periods of time. We could say we're going to do an average for the previous 6 months, for the previous 12 months, even for the previous 3 months. But let's just start here. Okay, then we'll go do this. Except we're looking for a single mean number. Can we do something like this? What happens if we do this? I mean, we could say something like this, right? Right? Then we could do a mean, new cases, let's say, so this is 11. Let's say, let's say 4. Let's only look at the previous 6 months. Okay, that puts the number at 72,000. What about the previous 3 months? It'd be, suppose we said previous 9 days. Well, that certainly works. But let's just don't think too hard here, okay? Let's don't think too hard. Let's just come back up here, run this thing from the top again. The reason to use a shorter time frame is hopefully you'll get a lower number. The mean cases and deaths will be lower. Yeah, because right here you can see it's 71,000. Some of the numbers are above that, I believe. Okay, so let's just go and leave this right here. So anyway, since the January 2020, U.S. has had 47.7 million cases, 710,013 deaths. They're currently averaging 71,409 cases per day, which projects out over the next 12 months to 26.06 million more cases. You can look over here, we're currently averaging 1,221 cases or deaths, which projects out to 4,460,000 deaths over the next 12 months. for the U.S. And we can look here now, see that the 2021 cases have passed 2020, despite a massive vaccination effort. Okay, the 2021 cases have still passed 2020. Well, that's of course is why, because the COVID-19 vaccine doesn't keep us from getting COVID-19. Okay, what you can see here is what you can see. So this is the cases by quarter, and the third quarter 2021 cases is the third most quarter so far. Now this is the monthly cases. Okay, again you had this nice long declining pattern down to spring and summer, right? Then we had a 1-2 month increase followed by a 1-2-3 months, and this will be the third month in a row we're going to see a decline in COVID-19 cases in the U.S. And this is just the numbers by, you can see this here, this number here is 25,000. So we had perhaps several weeks during the spring and summer when cases are below 25,000 for 250,000 per week. Then we had this increase back up here. Then we had this decrease. And of course, the news media said, well, you know, the cases are starting, the declining cases are starting to stall out here now. Well, maybe. Question still remains: are we going to have another spike at the end of the year, or during the first quarter? Let's say we going to have another major spike during January of 2022. That's the question. Or is this really it? Is it all downhill from this point on? Okay. And what about daily cases? Well, you can see here on January 8th, we had 303,492 cases. That number had fallen all the way down down to the 3 to 4,000 cases per day down below here. Then since something happened in July, whether it's Delta variant or just because it's the start of a new COVID-19 season, it's hard to say. Or is it people have been? Or the question is, how many of these people were vaccinated? Was this Delta variant? Do we know for a fact that the majority of these deaths here were Delta variants? Anyway, you can see on September the 7th, cases spiked back up as high as 265,423 for a single day, before falling all the way back down again to the 41,493 cases on November the 20th, with an average of 90,323 cases per day. Now we can take a look at deaths. Again, you can see COVID-19 deaths for 2020 U.S. past 2020s. And again, unfortunately, for the third quarter of 2021 had the third most deaths of any quarter so far. And we can take a look at some monthly numbers. Well, look at this nice long declining pattern here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months in a row, the U.S. had a decline in COVID-19 deaths. Then we had a 1-2 month increase, and now November is going to be the second month in a row we're going to see a decrease in COVID-19 deaths. As you can see here, we got this long declining pattern all the way down. Long declining pattern in deaths. This is 5,000 deaths. This is 2,500 deaths. Then again, in July, this big spike up for 6 or 8 weeks. Now the deaths are falling down again. Okay. Now, what about deaths by day for the year? Okay, you can see deaths spiked on January 20th at 4,442. Before declining all the way down to the double triple. This is 1,000 here, so below 1,000 deaths per day for all this period back over here. Then again, we had the spike back on September the 16th at 3,469 deaths. Okay. Well, before finishing up here on at 322 deaths on November the 20th, with an average of about 1,183 deaths per day. Now the question is this: for every 100,000 people in the U.S., how many people have COVID-19? And you can see here this. So let's just make it easier on ourselves. Let's just round this up to what? Well, if this is 25, let's just round this up to what is this? 37 or something like that. 32. Let's round this up to 30. For every 100,000 people in the U.S., 30 people have COVID-19. What about deaths? Well, for 100,000 people in the U.S., let's make it easier. I just round this up to one half of a person. One half of, for every 100,000 people in the U.S., roughly one half of a person is dying of COVID-19. Okay, that's not something I think a lot of people don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about the fact that how low the infection rate is and how low the death rate is. Okay.